Hi, and welcome back to the Ascension Playground. This is Ursie. Yes, I'm back, and I'd love to share some exciting news about what I've been researching. As many of you know, I just can't talk enough about the heavens, learning the stories of the stars, the planets, and the energy and frequency through their narrative and how that might inform my life is just fascinating. So, as an artist, I always love looking at the blank canvas and wondering what the potentials are. So, when we talk about stories of the stars, the fixed stars, it's just there's an enchantment, I think, and an energy of let's make believe, let's see what we can find and see if it resonates with us in this now moment or not. Okay, so let me begin. My thought was as I would talk a little bit about the four royal stars of Persia. This is going back to about 550 before Christ, during the time of the Persian monarchy, and talking about the four primary stars that were said to hold up the heavens. It's almost like the 4 points of holding up the heavens so that then they could calculate based on these divisions where the other stars were. Sometimes in Persia too, they would look at it as a predictive sense of what's coming next. They could set a calendar based on these four placements of the four royal stars. So see how it works with understanding when you have the structure of four, you can build upon it. And so if you understand numerology, 4 is a foundational number. It's the 4 key points, the 4 pillars. In this case, it's 4 royal stars. So let me begin this little journey with you. And also, before I start, on the Ascension Playground, one of the joys is just sharing these tools that might help navigate each of us as we move forward in the new earth energies. So thank you for all the subscriptions. Really appreciate it. We're climbing closer and closer to the 501st subscriber, who will then allow our channel to have a community page. Yay! Okay, so let's get back to those 4 royal stars. I'm going to share my screen. Here it comes. First, I want to give a shout out to what's called astrologykingcom. This is a site that I learned thanks to being in a course with Julia Balaz, who's based in Ireland and does quantum soul guidance. Astrology King is phenomenal for any and all fixed stars that you might want to investigate. In this case, one of the 4 of the fixed stars is Regulus. So I wanted to show you, you could find more information on Regulus, the fixed star. What I really want to do is stop sharing. I'll be right back. Okay, I know this looks a little funny, but I'm over here. I've learned how to create PowerPoint presentations to share on Zoom, and I'm included over here in the corner. So lean back and have a little sip of your tea, and let me just share the story. The 4 royal stars of heaven. There's magic in the air when you think about those 4 stars. And we sometimes need to navigate where we are by looking at where we've come from. So when we look in the past and think about the Persian monarchy, the 4 royal stars, we can name them out as the fixed star Regulus, the fixed star Fomalhaut, the fixed star Antares, and the fixed star Aldebaran. All right, so those are the 4 fixed stars. And look at the little, here we go. Look at the cute little pictures I found of the stars, each one having their own personality. And you're going to see later that I have put the color green for Regulus, which is the green ray of light, which it holds. Fomalhaut holds the silver or white light ray. And Antares is golden light, whereas Aldebaran is more the blue. Okay, next slide. Here we go. This beautiful compass point comes again from starseedsteachable.com in case you would like to look into classes by Julia Balaz. And if you do, use the affiliate link that I provide in the description. That way, if you sign up, you're helping build this Ascension Playground as well. Oh, here, let me get in my position. Here we go. There, now I can have wings. The 4 royal stars. So guess what? So here are the ancient Persians. Again, 550 before Christ. Here's how they divided the sky, the heavens. The watcher of the north was the star Regulus, and Regulus is associated with the archangelic energy of Raphael. Again, watcher of the north with the element of air. So you're going to see the 4 elements: air, earth, fire, and water. The color or the ray of light that this star holds metaphorically and energetically is the green ray. Okay, so but the other fun thing is Regulus, since we're starting at the top of the compass, holds the time of year for the summer solstice. So see, the Persians were great. They could look up to the heavens and figure out how to divide time using the stars. So Regulus, the fixed star, is the summer solstice point of time. Next, we move here to the east with the fixed star Aldebaran. This star carries the archangelic energy of Michael, or as some others would say, Michael. So the Archangel Michael with the fixed star Aldebaran. This is the watcher of the east with the earth element. And don't you love it? The blue ray. So we're going to move around the wheel again. And now we're at, let's see, did I say, oh, excuse me. So Aldebaran is the vernal equinox. So we come to spring. So see spring, then summer, fall, and then winter. Even though this compass is showing us directional north, south, east, and west, this is more coordinating with the time of the year. So we did Regulus and Aldebaran. Now we're in the south with the fixed star Fomalhaut. Yes, I can try and use my German background. Fomalhaut with the archangelic energy of Gabriel. Yes, the watcher of the south was for the fixed star Fomalhaut. And the element is fire. The color or ray is white and silver. So we've covered Regulus, Aldebaran, and Fomalhaut. And Fomalhaut, again, that white or silver, think of winter, the winter solstice. The last one we'll talk about, Antares, is the autumnal or the fall equinox. This fixed star, Antares, carries the archangelic energy of Uriel or Uriel, watcher of the west, with the element of water and the golden ray. So see, on one slide, I've given you the basis or the basic information of the 4 royal stars. But this next slide, let me get my wings in order here. Whoop, whoop. The next slide I want to show you is about the history. See this guy's face right here? Well, let me say this little story because I created as a once upon a time, a long time ago, even a time before the birth of Christ, in ancient Persia, between 550 and 330 before Christ, the royal stars were said to be the 4 guardians of the heavens. Not only did they guard, but they held up the heavens. So according to legend, each of the stars is connected to this guy, the supreme Persian deity, Ahura Mazda. Interesting, right? Ahura Mazda, way back when. He was kind of like the metaphor for Zeus. Well, he fathered 2 children, one good and one not so good. Doesn't it remind you of the story of Cain and Abel and how these mythologies repeat themselves as we go through time? So Each of the fixed stars, the four of them, it can promise glory, achievement, or success, or not. It could also represent the opposite. So when we look at the yin and the yang of energy, let's say the greatest light finds its equal and opposite greatest dark. So too in the legends of the ancients, we're looking at you can have great success or the opposite. So if your natal chart includes a connection or an alignment or a soul connection to a royal star, one of the four I named earlier, it may mean that your life will have a great deal of duality and its challenges. Have you had to deal with a lot of light and dark? Not one of those easy peasy, everything's good kind of life. If you have had this great duality and challenging life in this incarnation, just understand one of the narratives is you pre-agreed to this at a soul level. All right. Here's what I wrote down for an ancient belief. Okay, I'm going to use these ideas of the old way of saying things. Great glory is promised to you if you can overcome the nemesis which can destroy. Polarized, right? It's so fascinating how here, even in 2022, when we look around the narrative globally, we see such polarized good versus evil, light versus dark. And in energy, we don't judge it. We just say positive or negative. It's all energy. And it's the challenge to ask each of us, how do you come into the center? How do you work with the light? And how do you work with its opposite, the dark? So you can expand your consciousness. So that's a little bit of the historical background. But again, look at this guy. This is a sculpture. And again, Ahura Mazda, the Father, the supreme deity. I guess you could say God, way back again before Christ in Persia, which is today known as modern Iran. All right, let's see what my third slide says. Well, I'm going to stop sharing here for a moment. There you have it. The four fixed stars, a little bit of the background. If you use Julia Balaz's free online calculator, the site has now been rebranded as www.galacticastrologychart.com. If you punch in your natal information, and yes, you need to know your birth time, you put in all your information and you're able to figure out how to create a report. And I show a demonstration of how to do the report in one of my videos on this channel, the Ascension Playground. Look for the names of those four big stars, the royal stars. You know, sometimes we say, yeah, I want to have Regulus, the star of the king. And then you realize, great challenge. The king must overcome the nemesis. So Regulus, Fomalhaut, Antares, or Aldebaran. So I'll be back soon to talk about each of those four fixed stars. But in the meantime, go ahead, try the calculator, see if your natal chart or a loved one's might include this. And then look at what line it's on. Is it with your sun? Is it aligned with your Mars or your Venus, some of the personal planets? Or maybe, just maybe, is it aligned with your Pluto? Is it a conjunction or opposite to your Pluto? You may have originated on one of these royal fixed stars. All right, that's all for now. See you soon. I'll be back. Take care and have a wonderful day. And thank you for joining me on the Ascension Playground. Bye for now.